Hi everyone, this is Meir, sitting with wonderful staffers here at the School for Self-Healing. In less than 2 days, I will be sitting on an airplane going to Chicago, where I will meet with my assistant and friend and go with her to São Paulo, Brazil. After resting in a nice farm and catching up with the hours that I need to pick up for the jet lag, I will teach the largest Part 2 class that I had in the last 25 years. We thought at first it will have 35 people. It probably has 32 people in it. Among them, 10 physiotherapists, 12 occupational therapists, several massage therapists. Perhaps I'm going to have an ophthalmologist or two. I will never forget how I was on my book campaign for Vision for Life a few years ago and talked about the need to deal in a form of physiotherapy with eye problems. The fact that eyes are being strained by looking too much at a computer, and that actually we need to give the eyes the freedom of looking at a distance. The fact that we don't use our periphery enough and we have to start and do that. The fact that we need to adjust to the sun instead of escape the sun. And many other facts like deep relaxation of the eyes. And one wonderful ophthalmologist who I heard is at top of her department and who is a retinal specialist in specific surgeries of the retinas, especially when it detaches, and is a professor of ophthalmology in Brasilia, came to me and said, "Meir, I agree with you and I'm going to enroll in one of your classes." She didn't enroll in my class, but she enrolled in the class of one of my students, and I hope to see her in this training. The problem that we have these days is the unbelievable religious trust in conventional medicine. What the doctor said is true, and what he didn't say is not true. What the doctor associations is saying is fact. What they didn't say is not fact. My goodness, what a religious belief. Do you pay attention to the fact that all kinds of pills that were given to pregnant ladies in their 50s and 60s caused birth defect to many of their children?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I said bird. You have to fix that.
Okay.
Do you pay attention to the fact that there are a bunch of superstitions within the medical profession? Let me give you a good one of them. Everybody should wear sunglasses. Not true. Not true. Not true. The time you should wear sunglasses is when the sun is hurting your eyes. But truth to the matter is, by wearing sunglasses, you weaken your pupils. They don't constrict all the way. You become stressed without even knowing why, and you become depressed without knowing why. So I really believe that we should not wear sunglasses except in some situation. Now, we think that when we give blood tests, we really know what's wrong with us. We think that when we go to the oncologist, they really can fix cancer. Ha, ha, ha. Let me start and tell you something. There's that wonderful entrepreneur by the name of Elizabeth Holmes. Who did not invest in her? From the owner of Fox TV to the owner of CBS TV. From Kissinger to Schultz, name them. They all invested in a wonderful Theranos company. And look what's happening now. Well, if you thought you don't have herpes, maybe you do, because the blood test did not show the exact truth. If you thought that your cholesterol is normal, well, maybe you should test it once more, because whatever Theranos told you is not true. If you thought you have too much cholesterol, well, test it again, because what they thought is not true. Well, Walgreens will agree to that. Walgreens, the biggest pharmacy on earth, basically accepted Elizabeth Holmes' Theranos company. Fantastic. Now, do you need anything else to let you know that we're talking about a bunch of nonsense when you believe religiously in conventional medicine? How about the LASIK surgery? Have you ever looked at websites of people who are talking about the harmfulness of LASIK? Do you know that a couple of people committed suicide because their eyes were hurting badly after the surgery? My God, just take a look at the fact that almost no surgeon who makes LASIK surgery does it on him or herself. Well, if that doesn't tell you something, what does? Of course, LASIK surgery is bad for the eyes. It violates the relationship between the cornea, the aqueous humor, the lens, and the retina. So let me return to basics. I'm not saying don't use medicine, by no means. Many times I have to fight with fanatic clients who do not want to use medical procedure when actually is the best thing to do. It happens again and again. When somebody came to me almost completely blind with cataract and said to me, I don't want to do the surgery, I stuck my neck out and tried to bring her to doctors and did whatever I could do to make sure that she does the surgery, and the surgery worked well. When somebody comes to me with detached retina and wants to fix it in any other way than the right surgery immediately, I tell them to do that. There is real important place for medicine. We lost many wonderful people who fanatically did not believe in medicine. But all of you fools that think that you should take for granted everything that medicine tells you exists, you are not empirical. For years I was saying that the only way to improve the body is through movement, massage, and exercise. Well, people now understand how important exercise is, but they don't understand how important doing the right exercise is. An exercise that elongates your muscles, an exercise that relaxes your eyes, exercise that gets you to have kinesthetic awareness of your body. And that's why I really want more and more of you to come and study my work. We need teachers. We're not doctors, we're teachers. And I like that profession better than a profession of a physician that is responsible for what he says. No, we will be responsible for teaching our techniques, and the client will be responsible for applying them to him or herself. It's time for us to work in partnership with the people we're working with. They wouldn't come to us with basic blind belief that what we're doing is perfect. But if I'm here to quote the wonderful lawyer who worked with me in New York, and after 5 surgeries and a lot of problems with his right eye, he wasn't able to see the red color, and anytime he would sit in a room that was a little bit darkened than regular, the weaker eye that had the surgeries would see it real dark and the other eye would see it real bright. Well, with blinking lights in the dark and patching the other eye, with more stimulation of the periphery, the 2 eyes were almost equal and he was able to see red color again. That was empirical, it wasn't invented, it was right there. What about the wonderful 80-year-old who came to me yesterday with blindness in one of her eyes, and the blindness was so bad that it affected the vision in the other eye. It was a real blind spot. Well, I've done something very simple. Besides sunning, which many of you probably know, where we close our eyes and move the head from side to side, all the way from side to side, and palming, that is relaxing the eyes, I put an obstructive lens over her left eye and played with her ball. And then I patched the left eye, put a small hole in a dark piece of paper, put it over her right eye, held her hand and walked with her around the trampoline in my office. First, she saw next to nothing. Then she started to see the color of the flowers. As the brain connected more and more with the area that it blocked, she saw more and more and more and more. And she called me this morning to say that after a year of getting worsened vision, she drove feeling very comfortable with her eyesight. Of course, the result was one-time result, and she needs to repeat and do the work But the brain basically blocked all the vision in the central vision, and she opened it up. Now again, I want to return to all of you. I need soldiers. I have them now in Brazil. I have them in Israel. I have them sometimes in Europe. I need people to come to San Francisco. And that's one of the reasons that I'm teaching my course from the 3rd to the 24th. Those of you who want to study my work thoroughly, do just that. Learn from the 3rd to the 24th. Those of you who want to study the work as a life experience so you can help yourselves, study from the 3rd to the 13th. I know it's a commitment to come for those many days. Our price is moderate. And what I would like to see is more and more people teaching a new gospel, as gospel of experiments and empirical study of what happens in the field. I did not whisper in the ear of my client and told her, see well. I did with her something amazing. Got her to look through a blind spot when the day is just ending, but the sun was still there. It's funny, we call our place sunset. I think basically that's what the sun normally does here. It sets. So at that point, as the sun was setting, and she was able to see flowers through that blind spot that she didn't see for the last few years. After the medical profession gave up on her completely, she finally sees better, and she's 80. My dear friends, if you want less paralysis, if you want less blindness, if you want to really be empirical, come and learn how to be teachers in my work, whether you're a layperson or a physician. I'm making this speech simply because I want to change the world. And I want you to help me do that. Read my book, Awakening Your Power of Self-Healing, awaken your power, and awaken others as well. Much love to all of you. On my way to Brazil, Meir.